Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Friday. All right, guys. Well, we are feeling on top of the world right now. We feel better. No Benadryl before a live or a video. We don't feel sick anymore. We are just ready to conquer this day. We have so many amazing topics for Hot Messy Topics. And I love that Jason and I are feeling like back to ourselves on top of the world. So this is going to be so much fun. And on top of that, this has been quite the week. Not only did we get the Below Deck premiere, and of course on Sunday, you guys know we're getting the Potomac premiere, but we got the OC continuation, Tamra Judge quitting for the second time, and then the bombshell for the Real Housewives of Miami. This could not be a better day. And Scheana sat down with Alex Baskin. I'm going to admit that I'm going to eat a little bit of crow on this one. I'm going to eat my words. And that's okay, because I think that's practicing humility and just being like, hey, look, sometimes it's okay to be wrong. And I was wrong. I can't wait to just dive into all of it. After this, we have a members only drop coming your way, talking about BravoCon that Jason did all by himself. So let's just hope that that's going to be as amazing as I hope it is. And let's welcome the husband. Smash the like button, show some love. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and let us know in the live chat where you're watching from. Let's go. Hello.
Oh my God, I hope it's as good. You know what? I was planning our itinerary for our two writers and for myself a little bit on what panels I'm going to go to at BravoCon, right? Because there are like so many to choose from. It's crazy. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to turn on the camera and just do it because just go through it together. So if you guys want to check it out, that is our members drop. I'll drop it straight after we're done on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, guys, anytime throughout this live, if you guys have questions, post your question with a capital Q. Let us know, and we will answer the questions in between topics. I don't even know where to start today, Jason, because this
dude, I mean, between OC, which I finally thought had a great episode last night.
I know you were actually excited about it.
I was laughing my ass off because there were so many little fights that all happened in like the span of, I don't know, 10 seconds. It was really funny to watch from Miami, which we did say, like, I think 2 weeks ago, we said there's a huge bombshell. I don't think it landed how everyone thought it would. And I don't know. I feel like we have just a lot to talk, like a lot to cover. And then I don't know what happened on the Baskin podcast with Scheana. Where do we start? Like, where do we start? I have no idea.
Should we start with Miami?
Oh my God. I feel like that could just go on the entire live.
Let's do it.
Okay. Oh my God. Right. Miami. That's freaking crazy. All right. Hold on, guys. We have 200 in the room. Hit the like button, please. Yeah. It helps us out so much. You don't even know how much it helps us out. And I dropped some memberships today in the live chat. So
oh yeah,
just give back with a little like.
See that? Jason did. He gifted another 10 Up and Atom membership. So hopefully, you guys were one of the lucky ones. And I see you guys always asking about Vicky Harnish. I don't know how they distribute these, and maybe it is by name. I'm not sure, but Vicky.
I think I said this last time, guys. When I drop memberships,
take care of you.
We'll try to find a way. I don't know how to give. There's no way to just give a membership directly to somebody. But when I do drop the memberships, it randomly chooses by who's in the room at any given time. So even my cousins in London still don't have a membership, and they keep waiting in the live chat. So I'm trying, but I can't hit everyone. But we have a cheap membership. It's only $2.99 a month. We have a ton of content coming up. So if you guys are interested in that extra content, we're going to be behind the scenes at BravoCon. It's going to be a lot of vlogs, live streams, all kinds of stuff that you're going to want to see. So it's definitely fun.
Matt said, Vicky, did you turn on the button to receive a membership? See, I didn't even know that you could do that.
Here we are, the YouTube people who don't know YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, well, things are always ever changing, right? And I don't like change. So I'm like an 80-year-old man inside of this body. But what I was going to say is, two guys, for the membership, it being so cheap, $2.99, I've seen so many other content creators, and I feel like they are totally like, and this is, listen, everybody has their own business. Everybody does things the way that they want to do it. But I've seen where people are charging $20 and $40.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, this is just with so many. Jason was about to drop Hulu the other day because he thought it went up past $100. And he's like, okay, it's at $94. But I swear, if it hits 100, I'm done with Hulu's ass. And I was like, okay.
Seriously, you know, it's so funny because and
We need Hulu.
Matilda, Matt, thank you so much for gifting 5 more memberships. You guys can also give them if you want. But we're about to turn up memberships completely. We've been pretty consistent with everything, but it's about to get very, very interesting. But what was I gonna say? I don't know. Let's do it. Let's move on. Let's do Miami because that was insane.
There were so many moments in last night's Real Housewives of Miami, part 1 of the reunion, and we finally got the bombshell that everybody was talking about and alluding to, and that was at the end of the episode, which I knew it was going to be left on a cliffhanger. I knew that. Like, it's showbiz, right? But Julia Limagova ended up sharing the information that she cheated on her wife with Adriana Demora, not once, but twice. Once in the Hamptons and the second time and at the Versace mansion. So I don't know who is more in question here. I just want to start with like the big bombshell part of it. Who's more in question? Like, you for admitting that you wanted to start a family with this woman and you wanted to kind of open up your home, which I think is a beautiful thing. My mom was adopted, you guys, and my dad used to always tell my mom, and I actually just had a conversation with Jason's sister the other day. You know, like when you're adopted, sometimes you feel like, was I just like not good enough? Was I given away for a reason? There's so many questions that go through your head, but
my dad was adopted too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And my dad used to always tell my mom, like, listen, you can be born into any family, but you were chosen into this family. So I think that it's such a beautiful thing, adoption. And what I don't understand is when did you tell Martina that you had this affair? When did you open up to your wife that you were cheating on your wife? When did you share? Was it before the kids? Was it after the kids? Was it like, at what point in time did you have this conversation? Because if Jason came to me and said, I just want to let you know, like, we're on a TV show and I'm supporting him. He's like the main cast member. I want to let you know that I had an affair. I'd be like, okay.
Well, you're not going to catch me scissoring a sister. I can tell you that. So
I would be like Carrie Underwood and I would take a Louisville Slugger to both headlights. Okay.
That's right.
Like,
hell
I
yeah.
would be,
I don't blame you.
Some crazy ass, like, there's no fucking way. So sitting here listening to this and like, as if it's so normal, I'm like, Jason, just give us your opinion really quick.
I don't know if you like want it or not. I just felt like this was such a weird thing to bring up. And at first I didn't even believe it, because when Julia started the sentence, when we were in the Hamptons, I did not even see Adriana flinch at all. You know, if you know something's about to come up and you remember, oh my God, don't bring up what happened in the Hamptons. That didn't even like, she didn't flinch. So I was like, I don't know if I believe this. I think Julia right now is trying to save her spot on the show by bringing something up. I'm not sure if I believe it yet or not. I want to wait a little bit because it seems very right now desperate of Julia to like keep saying it and then go backstage with Andy and keep saying it, right? But I want to back up a little bit and give a different opinion on Julia, because I'm kind of with a lot of people who have been commenting and tweeting and stuff like that. I think I'm good on Julia. I think that she's become a little bit of a liability, and I think she's a hypocrite, because all I've heard her say is like, well, Martina's at home with the boys. I mean, she's always with the boys. You wanted the boys. This is something you wanted too, you know? And I just hear her say that a lot. Also, when they show the unseen footage of Julia slamming that chair, okay? And I mean slamming it and kind of going like crazy. I'm like, this is too much because here, just back up. Can you imagine Gertie or Kiki or Adriana slamming a chair like that? We'd be talking about it today, like the whole season. You know what I mean? But this was just kind of left out. And I feel like she's a little, someone just said it in the live chat, I think she's a little toxic. And I think right now she's playing that Scheana role of, I'm desperate to stay on the show. So I want to throw everything I can out there. I'm going to throw my wife under the bus. I'm going to throw myself under the bus that I cheated. Our relationship wasn't in a good place. Or a marriage wasn't in a good place. You know, it's just like, whoa, just spit it all out, girl. Like, what the hell is happening? That's my opinion. The slamming of the chair, and I just want to bring this comment up. I'm sorry. Jeannie, yes, the slamming of the chair is very telling. We have seen her go off so many times on camera, like we saw at Marisol's wedding event, where she threw the drink. She gets very like, rah, and it's like, I'm good on Julia because I don't want that toxicity in Miami. She's a liability.
I also don't like a wild card, and I feel like Julia is, even watching her on the reunion, she's putting on a show and she's like, Gertie, what can I do to, like, you know, make you understand that I'm sorry and blah, blah, blah. And everybody, by the way, on last night's episode, Gertie talked over everyone, you guys. She was not accepting the apology. She just was not there for any of it. And it kind of goes against what that is. Like, you have to have conflict, but also resolution. You have to figure out the space to get to. And it didn't seem like Gertie had like a big opening for that space. But watching this, you splashed her in the fucking face. Like, Gertie has a good point. You are not a one-time offender, not a two-time offender. You are a three-time offender who sits on and you operate under this guise or mask, under this like whole persona of like, I don't know what I did to you, and I just love my goats and my chickens, and like,
I'm apologizing now, Gertie.
Yeah, I'm apologizing now. And
that's
Gertie's
nice.
Like, take your apology and shove it up your ass.
You know? Yeah, no, and it took me a minute to realize that, because I was very focused on what you said, Adam, too. I was very focused on Gertie really chiming in all the time last night. I'm like, girl, we heard you. We got your story. We get your point. Like 100%. I get it. I wouldn't accept her apology either. I wouldn't be ready for that. I totally get Gertie. But Gertie, you know, was talking over like even when Stephanie was talking about how, looking back at her first season of Miami, she looks back and says, you know, like, my tongue gets the best of me sometimes. I know I can tone it down, or my tone, or whatever it was. And, you know, she works in a business with men and she's just used to that. And Gertie's like, yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
But I understand where she's coming from, because Gertie is so frustrated by this group right now. And it took me a while to understand why. And you're just seeing it being laid out, you know?
Well, and I can also see where Gertie's coming from. I think that it is annoying, like the talking over everybody the whole time and like not letting somebody get a word in.
And not letting somebody get a word in.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Let everybody have their moment. But also, when you want two people to sit there and repair a relationship, and you know, like, I'm a little bit more Gertie in this way, you guys. I have to be honest. I have people around me, even to this day, that like I run into and I see, and I understand the conversations that we've had. They've been not nice. They haven't been great for me. And I'm sort of like that kind of person where it's like, good, I'm good on you. Like, when I see you, I'll smile in your face, like pat you on the ass. Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing amazing. Go fuck off. And I can see where, yeah, I can see where Gertie is the same way. She's like, I'm not going to sit here and play television with you guys. Like, do you guys understand? Because we have to realize that this is such a condensed, edited version of what they film. They film for months, and we just get these 45-minute episodes after we take out the ads and the commercials, whatever. But it's like, we get these 45-minute episodes, and we get like 16, 17 of them, but it doesn't truly, like, it doesn't really tell us the whole story. It tells us what the producers and the editors want us to see. And there's a big
Well, I
difference.
think the producers and the editors have a job too, right? They have to produce a show, and the editors have to tell stories that we'll stay interested in, because I'm sure there are many other things we're not seeing that were filmed that are just not making the cut because they didn't fit in. You know, where is this housewife on her third season? Where is this housewife on her new season? How do we tell all of these stories? I mean, that is a very big job for them to have too. So I totally get that, but I do think there's a lot of playing off camera. I think there's a lot of manipulation off camera. And Gertie brought up a really, really good point. I was not very team Gertie until after it sunk in a little bit and I slept on it, but she brought up a good point. You know, why are we not talking about this on camera? We are filming a show. You only film a show for a few months. Like, talk about it on camera. Let's see it, because those are the things that are playing out on social media that become more interesting than the show. You know what I mean? And you don't want that, especially with your numbers like this now. What?
I can answer that because a lot of times there are higher ups, there are people at the round table at NBC and, you know, different situations that we're not really as privy to. And they protect people based off of the like-dislike ratio of the audience, how the audience is reacting to them.
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
Martina comes in as a name for Julia. So, for example, and I always say this, and I don't care now, Jason like pointed out that James Kennedy has now unfollowed me. So it's like, at this point, get in fucking line. I don't care.
BFD.
You know, like James Kennedy, Scheana, Shay, Whitney Rose, Angie Katzenevas, Heather Gay. Bye. But what I was going to say was, yeah, seriously. What I was going to say was, you know, there were at least 3 different situations on Vanderpump Rules where there was alleged DV, domestic violence. And one of these situations in particular, it was filmed. And they scrapped it. They kept him on the show. They didn't want to run with that narrative, and they wanted to protect him because he was great for the show, which is great for the numbers, which is great for the ad dollars, which is great for the business. So sometimes in these situations, like not really totally showcasing what ticking time bomb Julia Limagova apparently can be, it's because you think, well, maybe she's good for the show, and so let's like kind of leave this out of here and let's just move on from this, and we have other things that we can focus on. It's a business, and they're making a business
I'm not
decision.
talking, though. I'm not talking about the things we don't see. I'm talking about, you know, having a scene and then going into the bathroom like Marisol and Julia did and having this whole like, okay, let's do this. Let's have the, you know, Marisol's having conversations in the bathroom with Julia. Other people are having conversations over here. Gertie is right. No one's having the conversation on camera. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about them leaving things out to protect people, because obviously that happens. I don't know why we protect James Kennedy on the show. I don't know if he was great for numbers. I thought Scandival was the numbers, but you know, like it was just so interesting to watch. But I have to say, I don't think that Bombshell, True or Not, really hit the way they thought it did. For me, watching Julia with that chair was almost kind of like a bigger bombshell to me than it was. Well,
I can also
think that can be some clarity. I slept with Adriana in the Hamptons. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
No, but I can explain that as well. Because
go ahead. Our dogs are crazy right now. We had a doorbell ring, and then the doorbell rings. It's like our guard dogs are up. Our guard dogs are up. So Adam will be right back.
Okay, guys, sorry about that.
Guard
we have
dogs.
Barlow, Theo, and Pippa over here, who are our amazing guard dogs, and they make sure that if anything happens, that they're going to be here to protect us, and that's exactly why we love them so much. But sometimes they just have to realize it is not that big of a deal, you guys. It is just an Amazon package because Jason loves Amazon. So thank you, Jeff Bezos.
I do. I have to say that. I love it.
Moving on. What I wanted to say was,
look at you, Adriana.
It's funny because at the end of all of this, I think this bombshell did not land the same way with Julia Lemagova and the way that she explained it. And the reason being is because exactly what Adriana said. Like, you go around and you kiss other people and you put yourself out there and you're trying to, like, she said, trying to seduce people. I don't know if that's the case, but make out with people. And that's, you kind of like to be that way. Lala Kent was so pissed off that Scandal took off the way that it did. It took sort of like a life form of its own. And the reason it did that was because Ariana Madix, she was always just like America's sweetheart. She didn't cheat. She didn't meet him cheating. She didn't do anything like that, you know? And so people really rallied behind her. And Lala didn't understand, but a lot of people looked at Lala like, girl, you lose your man how you get your man. You knew that he had a wife and he cheated on his wife with you. So now we don't feel bad for you. We don't care that he cheated on you. And that's the thing. Like, the audience reacts based off of how they feel in that situation. And I think that that's why this bombshell didn't land the same way, because we don't see Martina going out and like kissing all of these people or flirting with them or anything like that. That's not, we don't get that, you know? So
Yeah,
truly, that's just why I feel like that didn't land the same way. But also, the other thing that I wanted to point out was, it seems like Adriana definitely has a hard-on for Marisol, and she thinks that she's the sneaky little sniper from the side. What are your thoughts on that?
The jury's out for me. Like, you hear the rumors, you know, Dr. Nicole thought that Marisol hired a PI. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they could believe it's true, but we don't know it to be true. But I don't know. You know, you see these situations where Marisol, you know, helped Adriana turn Ratchet into Wretched, or you see the Marisol bathroom conversations with Julia. Nothing would shock me at this point.
Yeah. And
I mean, you have two cast members that apparently hooked up in the Hamptons while one of them's married and has 2 kids. I mean, what else is there? What else is shock value do we have besides Julia, you know, bouncing a chair up and down?
No, and I thought that Kiki was a good middleman, like a very Dolores Catania on this reunion. But then what I also want to throw respect to is Alexia and Larsa, unless it's really about them, they let you have your moment. They don't talk over you. And that's like, that's seriously, guys, that is such a gift to us as the audience. Like, let them talk, you know, let them talk.
Yeah, let them talk, you know, and that's the thing is Alexia sitting there right in that front chair. Okay. She knows that she brought it this season. She was the whole opening storyline for the first few episodes. You know what I mean? She always has a storyline. Alexia always brings it. So she will just sit there until called upon, and then she'll bring it. She knows this, you know? And you would think, like, you know, this is her 3rd reunion, so maybe she hasn't gotten that yet, and Kiki too, but like some of the, like, even Lisa was like quiet and then telling Julia, like, get up and give a hug. They know how this works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes the best way to get your point across is just to stay silent until called upon.
Yeah. And thank you, Lisa Hochstein, for being on time. We appreciate that.
Oh my God. That was like the biggest
bombshell. That was the real bombshell.
That was the bombshell.
No. And I think for Lisa Hochstein too, you know, she was talking a little bit about her relationship with Lenny and co-parenting and how sometimes it's not the easiest. Listen, guys, as a product of divorce, I can totally see that. I can see that from a mile away. And the only thing that I am just going to add to this is it's not going to get easier, honey, until the kids are graduated, out of school, out of your homes, and they're adults. And then all of a sudden you guys will find friendship again, because that's how it happens. It's like you just rain misery on your children. And then all of a sudden when they become adults, like now you guys are friends. And then your kid looks at you like, what the fuck? Why this whole time did you guys do this and make us have to sit there and watch it? And then now you guys are good. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. But
yeah, I have a question. Do you think, because we know that there are contracts out for season 8 already, we know that some people do not have contracts currently. Do you think they're waiting for the the reunion to play out and see the response from the audience before giving out any more contracts? Or do you think they're trying to bring on some new blood to Miami, which to me, honestly, I think we could use a housewife or two, but I don't want to lose that core group that we have of Miami that's kind of been there since the beginning.
I think that Julia and Gertie can go.
You think Gertie too? I think Gertie is kind of maybe on the chopping block, but I think maybe we get one more season with Gertie. I'm not sure. But Julia, like, you know, everyone was saying it, you know, I think even you said the first season Kiki was on. It's like, oh, Kiki was kind of like, and now we're like, why isn't she holding a mojito? You know what I mean?
But the difference is with Kiki, I didn't think that she was so compelling the first season. And I really feel like they definitely kept her on her first season as that friend of that supporting role. And they really had a story to tell with like the main cast members. But now that we know the main cast members, I think that they give her a little bit more leeway on the show and they emphasize her role a little bit more, which I definitely enjoy, especially with her introducing us to her father, giving us the backstory of where she came from, and also introducing us to her kids.
Yeah, we're slowly getting to know Kiki. Like, I feel like it's been 3 seasons of we're really getting to know her, and now like let her run loose.
Yeah,
let's go.
Exactly. You know? And the reason I'm gonna say good riddance to Julia is I can see exactly what Adriana is pointing out. You are a flip-flopper. You're a windshield wiper. You're this way, then you're this way. Then you're this way, then you're this way. And it's like you are maneuvering in any which way that makes you more relevant or like a strategic game, which Housewives is a strategic game. But like when the fans can start seeing that you're aligning yourself with certain people in order to keep yourself relevant, you're not being so strategic anymore. Then you're starting to lose the audience. And that's exactly what I think she's doing. And for Gertie, I think that Gertie is tired of the show. I think that she's upset with a lot of the cast members because she feels like there's alliances that have been formed. I think that Dr. Nicole Martin was like one of her best friends who's no longer on the show. And I don't believe she's going to be on the show unless I could be wrong.
I don't think she's coming back.
I don't think that she's going to come back, but I think that those two can leave. And I think that we should bring in 2 new women. And I think that those 2 new women need to be dynamic. I think that they need to have big energy and they need to be able to go up against any single one of these women. Honestly, you guys know who I really wish would come back is Joanna Krupa. And I know she won't.
Come on.
But I wish she would come back. I do.
She was like the OG star of the Miami Housewives.
Yeah,
that was a good group back in the day.
Really, Adriana? Really? You remember Adriana like bopped her ass and she's like, oh yeah. Really? And that was in the home that we were at.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know, I do have to say I think Stephanie had a really great first season. I know mixed reviews. A lot of people were saying that, even Andy brought it up last night, that you were showing off your wealth, that you were, you know, whatever. And I really liked her response. But also that's why I want to watch Housewives. And I thought she did a good job of taking the accountability of looking back this season and saying, you know what, I need to calm down my tone. I see that now. I'm pretty sure producers were in her ear too about the whole, like, show off your wealth. You have a private jet. Like, this is what viewers want to see. However, Miami is my second favorite Housewives show currently as of the past 7 weeks, because the Real Housewives of London on Hayu has really taken that spot for me. Mm-hmm. And many of those women are worth a lot more money than even the Dubai women. So it's just, they don't have to show off the wealth, but I like to watch the wealth and how they operate and how they maneuver things, how they argue. So I did appreciate that, but I thought she did good at the reunion so far. You have Stephanie and Alexia sitting right next to Andy, and this is only part 1 of the reunion. So who knows what we have left?
Well, I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to ask you a question before we take questions. One thing that I want to say about Stephanie is, guys, we sit there and roast the shit out of Gina Kirschenheiter on The Real Housewives of Orange County. And when I say we, I'm talking about the fans. I don't roast her for it. But she has a very regular life. She is working her ass off. She has a townhouse with like 50 children inside of it. And it's just very normal. You know, and people say we want the opulence, we want the things. We want that big energy. Stephanie brought that to the show. So why people are getting so angry with her, and when also they're like, oh, well, your attitude. She, like Jason said, gave great explanation. She's like, I'm in a man's world, and sometimes it's hard to switch back and forth between the way that I communicate with the women, because I'm so used to communicating a certain way in order to be heard in the world that I'm in. And
Totally.
I get that. But before I end up pulling up a few questions, Jason, who do you believe, Adriana or Julia?
I don't know. I just right now, Julia has a history of, again, flip-flopping. I'm just hoping next season she might just want to take back up the farm and peace out, you know? I don't know. Again, Adam, I know you said, you know, you believe Julia that they probably hooked up. She did not flinch. She didn't flinch at all. And we know Adriana likes the men, you know? I don't know if she's a scissor sister or not, but we'll see.
The only reason I said that was because I watched the first couple minutes of part 2, and when she heard the women having a conversation in the room, she ran in there. And I think that if somebody said to me, I cheated on you, right? I would storm that room and be like, you fucking liar. Like, what a sick, twisted.
That's what I think she did, though. Like, you saw something different, I think, because you saw the same clip I did. But I think what happens is she thought those women are now going over there in a separate room, having that conversation and figuring out how. I mean, because she's with Julia was with in that first 7 minutes, or that sneak peek of next week. Yeah. Julia is with Alexia and Marisol. You know they don't like Adriana, right? Yeah. So they're probably adding fuel to the fire to help Julia. And that's what my mind went to. Adriana's like, no bitches, no producing while we're on break here, so you can come back and tear me apart when we're back on camera. That's how it looked to me. Okay. So, and then, you know, I don't know. I thought it was a very big dig too, because this is, again, another example of Julia flip-flopping. They showed, you know, that footage from 2 seasons ago where Julia is like getting on one knee and like, please be my best friend forever. And then she's not even in consideration to being a godmother to your kids, when Adriana sat there and said, hello. Like, that makes me look at Julia sideways. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, Julia goes back and forth like a tennis ball on a tennis court. Maybe that's why she works with Martina.
Comes off very opportunistic to me.
And that's exactly what Adriana has been saying. Yeah. Correct? So
yeah, no,
I might have a point here.
You're going to pick the wealthiest of the wealthy to be the godparents, whatever. It's like the money over the friendship and the love. And at the end of the day, I think that Adriana Demora is just hurt by her. I think she's hurt, but
I think Adriana can't go anywhere either. I know that there's no contract handout for her right now, allegedly, but she does bring this kind of like shit stirring kind of thing that just really works on Housewives. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she's not fake. Like, I think Julia is kind of fake. And I think Julia really, really, really wants to be on the show. She wants to stay on this show like any housewife would. And I think she's willing to do whatever it takes. You know, even scissoring a sister.
All right, guys. We're going to take a couple questions. First, I want to say hi, Tammy, and welcome to members. We have a members drop coming right after this. Thanks, Tammy. Matt said, do you think Bravo should do something about Julia always throwing stuff? She needs to go. Absolutely.
Liability.
You're a liability. Like,
you know, I told Adam this morning on our walk. I said, you know, it's not like a Jen Shaw thing, because Jen Shaw loves to throw shit, right? But she would throw a glass at a wall and be like, because she's just angry, you know? Julia, she's like slamming chairs literally within like inches of somebody, you know? She's throwing water. And what if she just threw that glass? The water got all over Gertie, but Larsa even said, we all got wet, and they did, you know? It's like we keep seeing this over and over again from Julia. And she likes to put on this really nice front. I can't believe I'm going in on her so hard. I'm so sorry.
No, but I also hate that. No,
Like-
it's okay because I hate the bullshit, and I think that it's like,
Yeah,
hi, I'm gonna
feels like
smile in your
bullshit.
face, but I'm operating like a little spineless jellyfish with a hidden agenda behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
some
like that.
KGB shit. Yeah, no thanks. Bye,
Matt,
Julia.
do you find it suspicious that Julia said that after she saw all of the comments from viewers slamming her? I find everything that she does suspicious. Toaster JB said, question, why was Stephanie sitting next to Andy? I think because, and Jason can chime in on this one. I think
three parts of a reunion. We haven't even gotten into it yet. So there could be a whole slew of stuff that come up. So
yeah,
sit tight.
Exactly. Vicky Harnish said the kids are like another Boneyard menagerie to Julia. Buy it and let someone else take care of it. What do you think? I hope that's not true. I don't feel the most comfortable speaking on like people's kids. I'm not a parent. Yeah. However, I would hope that that's not true, and I would hope that they're only behind like adopting the kids. It's just like the sole purpose of just like wanting to give them the best life ever and support them with love and everything. So I would truly like that would change my perspective completely from just being like, I think that you're calculated to I think that you're a monster. And I don't want to believe that about anybody. I want to see like the best in people. And I think that those kids are in great hands with Martina and Julia. And I would just never want to go down that rabbit hole.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Ellie said, why did Andy brush over the tweet about surrogacy?
They kind of covered that in Watch What Happens Live because Julia was in the hot seat on Watch What Happens Live when Andy brought up the tweet. And Julia said, and like she said last night, you know, her and Martina don't agree on that specific issue. And I completely last night forgot that Lisa had her kids by surrogacy. A lot of people do who can't have kids. I know even gay couples, you know, stuff like that. But Martina's allowed to feel how she feels. Like it's a free country. So,
well, and I also think that Andy Cohen as the host of the reunion has to be pretty just like even playing field for everybody. And I
also
think
Martina's not a housewife, you know, so you don't have to hold her accountable, you know.
I think he did a great job by passing that to Lisa Hochstein, who is one of the housewives in the hot seat who can speak to that. And he knew that she was going to speak to it from her perspective, which was clearly going to be neck and neck with Andy's perspective. So he didn't really need to sort of give his unfiltered opinion. And I think that, you know, that made sense.
Yeah.
Annika, thank you so much. And
Annika,
Suzanne, happy Friday, everyone. I'm from
Bournemouth, right? Am I saying Bournemouth?
Glad you guys are both better. Love all of your content and your views on topics. You are both the sweetest and entertaining. Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, I think that we've covered Miami. Jason said it was going to take 40 minutes or 30 minutes. This shit took 40 minutes. It took 40 whole minutes. But no, there's another thing that I want to bring up, and it's our girl, Scheana Shay. Hey, Scheana Shay. Somebody said in the live chat earlier, they're like, Adam, Scheana unfollowed you? Yeah, Scheana unfollowed. And she
still follows me. Maybe she'll unfollow me next.
Well, I spent 4 or 5 days, you guys, like really just like crying about it. And now I've moved past it. And I'm out of my feelings.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm out of my feelings. And
guys, I feel like Janet Caperna unfollowed me. Does anybody care? No.
Did she unfollow you?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
Probably because I didn't remember who she was at your show. I don't know.
Oh, well. I'm going to play a clip.
So this came out then, right? This came out today?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
and this is where I said, even though Scheana doesn't follow, but I know that her mom is watching. So hello, Erica.
But we love her mom. We love her. You know, Scheana's not a bad person. I will put that out there.
I love her mom.
Scheana has a great heart.
I like Scheana too.
I just think Scheana is so involved in herself and this whole reality thing.
Scheana's just selfish.
She's very selfish.
Yeah, I don't.
She's very selfish.
First of all, love Scheana. because I'm the kind of person who can understand how somebody operates, and I can see the flaws, and I can also see the good past the flaws. And I've seen the good past the flaws. She is totally a selfish person. She literally operates where she just cares about most of the time herself. I've seen it for years, and she can tell you that she'll be the best friend ever. And I'm sure in certain situations, if she gives a shit about you or if you offer something to her life,
I
she
was going to
can
say,
be the
if you
best
offer
friend
something,
ever.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But like, I don't have, I really, I'm making a sort of like an observation, and it's my observation. I'm allowed to say or think whatever I think. And I truly don't have anything aside from that.
I mean, and
negative to
I
say.
don't even want to harp on it anymore because we've harped on it enough.
Well,
We
I'm
helped
about to
you with your show.
apologize.
We helped you with this. We helped you with that. No, I know. Okay, well, I don't even know what this is about, but I do want to say that, it doesn't matter what it's about because it's still you as a person, I don't know.
Yeah. Here we go.
In the 14 years you've known me, have you ever heard me say my dream is to be on Real Housewives of Orange County?
You have not expressed that to me.
Don't you think you would be the person I would go to if I had that dream?
I would hope so.
Yeah. So not my dream. I do remember the conversation when we were at Upfronts, and I was telling Tamra how much I loved living in San Diego and that we were thinking about when we were in Marina moving to Orange County because of the schools and whatnot. But I said, work is in LA. And she goes, well, you should just be on our show. And I'm like, you said that. I never said that. If there was a joke made, it was probably like sarcasm from Brock, like, oh yeah, that's her dream, which I don't even think he said. But I'm like, girl, you brought that up.
I think this is a fun Bravo feud.
Yeah.
So I'm amused by it.
With just how rampant speculation has become around whether I'm filming the Valley, all of the things that now just get posted in real time. You see, I wasn't in San Diego. For anyone hoping that I would be joining the cast, I am sorry to disappoint you this season. And for those who were very vocal about not wanting me to join the show, don't worry, I'm sure I will still find some other way to disappoint you. So stay tuned. But yeah, I have not signed on for season 3 of the Valley, and I want to kind of get into why. But first I want to ask you, was I offered a role on the Valley?
Oh God, look at this. You're getting right into it. Stuff like, well, we definitely had serious conversations about you being a part of the cast.
Mm-hmm. And it was a great offer.
I thought it was a compelling offer.
Right. Okay. So people saying out there that I was not asked and that Lala took my spot, what would you say to them?
That is not true. That's not true at all. And obviously, if we weren't talking about your joining the show, I wouldn't be here because there wouldn't be anything to talk about in the first place.
Right. In the 14 years you've known me, have you ever heard me say my dream?
By the way,
no.
That I just want to say really
crow
quick
about, please.
No, I just not even to sound self-righteous or important. That was a message definitely to me. For sure.
Well, okay, we've never said that Lala took her place because we thought Lala and Scheana were both going to be on the Valley.
Right. But where I want to apologize and say I was wrong, I didn't see a world, unless you're like a complete moron, I didn't see a world where you would walk away even from a limited role on one of these shows, because the way that I looked at it was you just bought a $3 million home in the Valley. You have a $1 million home in Palm Springs. It's a lot of money. Like, guys, we love real estate. We have rentals and stuff. And like, when they don't rent, it's a lot of money on the mortgages,
yeah, it's a lot.
the
risk.
Keep up, the taxes. It's a risk. And she doesn't rent out her home. She has 2 homes. And even still, it's almost about $5 million in mortgages. And then she has Brock, who I've always had a great rapport with Brock. And I think that he's a really, really sweet guy. I'm not married to him, so he didn't cheat on me. That's your situation. But like, I know that Scheana is the sole breadwinner. And then you have a child, right? Their beautiful little daughter, who you have school, you have things that they need. You have to sort of support and supply for all of these things. So when I originally was told that she walked away from the show and that she was offered something, I was like,
what did you get from that conversation? Because unless I need to go and listen to the whole thing, they said they had discussions and it was a compelling offer. So I don't know if anything was actually in contract. Maybe they had discussions on like, what are we willing to... But if
there's an offer, there's an offer.
Yeah.
I don't know if the offer, from what I've heard, the offer was for limited episodes, a limited time, and it was to bring her in a very, very limited role. because
Which I do have to say, you should. I think though, because and I'm going to be nice here. Scheana is a face of Bravo, whether you like it or not. She's
Yeah.
always going to be a face of Bravo, right?
Yep.
I mean, she's one of the most recognizable people from Bravo.
Absolutely.
Because she comes from the early days. She comes B from a whole segue storyline from Beverly Hills to Vanderpump Rules, which I said the show Vanderpump Rules was going to happen.
The only Emmy nominated show on Bravo.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's lots of great, Below Deck. Sorry. Just FYI.
Okay.
And you know, I just think that I don't know. Maybe people need a pause and maybe she can come back season 4. But if you want to stay in the groove of things, I think it would have been great for her to take whatever the offer was, do your cameo moments like you did last season, and hope that things are gonna.
But I'm thinking that she's strategically playing this game of, I'm not going to take your bullshit limited role offer. Instead,
but they don't need you on the show.
But I think, hold on. All I'm saying is, you know, like Brandi Glanville came on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and gave the most major storyline of the season. And she didn't get paid jack shit for that. Okay. And it was like, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Vicky Gunvalson also came on in these little like friend of roles for limited episodes, and same thing. It didn't do anything for her. And I think that Scheana is maybe playing the game smarter than what we think, if it works out for her. But I think what she's doing is like, I'm not taking your limited role. You either give me the same Lala Kent, like full-time role to come on the show.
You know what I think happened?
Or no?
I think there's another EP in that show involved. So whether she was given an offer or not, maybe another EP put a stop to it. And her name is LVP. So I don't.
This motherfucker. You guys, this is why we got married. This is why right here. That is probably exactly it, Jason. Literally. Because there probably was an offer, right, for a limited time role. And listen, you can't go against LVP, because whether first of all, LVP doesn't rip anybody to their face. That doesn't happen.
No.
She never has. She never will. She operates like a sniper from the side. Tom Girardi, before he went all like, woohoo, and decided to defraud everybody and whatever he did, he even said, you're like an alligator, like on the side of the bank, just waiting to snap. Right. And she's like, what? And Ken was like kind of pissed that he made that comparison, but it's so true. Lisa Vanderpump.
But Ken's like, I'm the only one who noticed that. How do you notice that?
Lisa Vanderpump, it's this. I love this woman, and she absolutely
she's just business.
Is the last person
she's smart.
to F with. Oh yeah, and she'll take you out, but you're not going to see it coming.
And let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a personal story. Okay. When I was running Pump for 5 years.
Be careful.
Don't tell me to be careful. I know
I said what I said, and I stand on it like
no one's coming for me. I made them a lot of money. No. Okay. Listen. Lisa is known to give people a lot of chances. Okay. We had a lot of what the hell are you looking at, fool? What are you looking at?
Taco Bell?
No, I don't. No. I don't want fast food. Okay. She gives people a lot of chances. We've had bartenders who effed up. We've had servers that effed up. I can't even tell you some of the stories. Maybe that's for like a members thing. Okay. We had one server who just, I don't know, left twice mid shift, had no idea where he went with credit cards and shit. You know what I mean? But she always gives you the benefit of the doubt. She gives you a chance, because once you're in, you're in. She likes the loyalty, people who stay loyal, who work hard. I mean, like any business, we're business owners, Adam, and people who we hire are people who work for us. If you are good to us, we're going to be good right back, right? It's the same thing. She has given Scheana, and everybody else on that cast, James, I mean, think about it. She wants them to win. Okay. I know they don't think that way. And sometimes working for her, you don't think that way, but she's not just going to, the thing is you really threw her under the bus. And not only did you do it in like a an interview with like People, I think it was one time, but then you wrote a whole book, you know, and that book doesn't go away. It's not like a People magazine interview. It's not like a TV interview. It's
No.
not like going on page 6's, whatever. It stays there. You know what I mean? So
And
she is an EP on the Valley. The reason the Valley happened is because you took all of her cast from Vanderpump Rules, right? And just like someone said in the live chat, she got rid of her whole entire cast of Vanderpump Rules. First of all, because it was no longer the show that she started, right? And they got really, really big heads. They became superstars and they're doing glam. And
they were sending her to their assistant. She doesn't even have an assistant.
Yeah, you're sending Lisa Vanderpump to your assistant. Girl, she is recasting that entire damn show, which she has done. And I think it's going to be just as successful because we're going to start at the beginning. And also there's a new audience for a younger crew, a younger crowd. For people like me, who's been watching like Vanderpump Rules or, you know, people my age, we have like the Valley like spinoff and stuff like that. But there are going to be people who come along who are just as compelling, just as interesting, who drive storylines maybe better than Scheana. So like that I think is the real deal. I think you messed up. You went for the big boss. You went for the Anna Wintour of Vogue, and you are working for Vogue. That's what you did. So,
and also Lisa Vanderpump, like, and I can say this just from literally just being lodged up the Vanderpump families like for so long. Like, I love them. They're great. They're the best people to work for, and they're the worst people to piss off. There is sort of like this mafia. No, seriously. There's sort of like this mafia style mentality.
You're telling me to be careful what to say. Like, I don't know.
No. But I'm saying, and I'm not saying that they're shady in any way. That's not what I mean. I mean, there's like this mafia style mentality of like what you said. When you're in, but you don't go against the family. You never go against.
You know, and it is very much a family. I do have to say.
Absolutely.
Just to give you some more examples, you know, we had a server who had a deadly motorcycle accident. It was horrible.
Oh my God, guys, the most like beautiful human ever.
She did a huge fundraiser, a huge thing at Pump. It was beautiful. We raised all the funds for, you know, the funeral and stuff like that. We made a lot of money at Pride one year because of some decisions I made. And then I got handed a big fat bonus check. You know, they take care of who is going to work. That is the point of a job. But also, they also have this crazy way of running a business. And I didn't mean to make this all about working for Lisa Vanderpump.
No, people love it.
Where they take on actors, models. And I'm telling you, if you're an actor or a model or wannabe, whatever, and in LA, and you're looking for a part-time job, and many places in LA or New York, if you're an actor, it's like, who the fuck cares? You know, we're hiring a server or a bartender, you know? Yeah. But at Pump, sometimes we had servers, bartenders who would leave for 4 months, go film a Netflix thing, go on a shoot in Italy, and we made sure everything was covered, but they always came back, you know, because working at Pump or Sir or Tom Tom, it's easy money. People are coming through the door.
We had a girl,
it's a fun time, you know?
We had a girl, Allison, who worked at Sir, and she was working on the Haves and the Have-Nots, Tyler Perry movie or show.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, you guys, like literally, it was the best job because once you were in, you were able to come back. As long as you didn't steal from them, as long as you didn't embarrass, you know, like don't
embarrass the boat.
Don't embarrass the boat. Like that's kind of what it was. But you know, there were so many times, and let me just finish this off with Lisa by saying one thing. Lisa and Ken knew that we ended up buying our first condo, and that was in Palm Beach, and they congratulated both of us. It was really, really sweet. And Ken handed Jason a check for $5,000. You guys, so in the state of Florida, when you're a first-time home buyer, you can put down 1 or 2%. So we didn't have a lot of money at all, and we still, like, I'm not saying we do now, but in that moment, you can, in Florida, like, they have a great first-time home buyers program, and we really just wanted to have something under our belt, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be amazing, and we posted it all over social media. It got back to Ken and Lisa, and Ken pulled us aside, handed Jason a check for $5,000 and said, you know, like, I hope that this alleviates any stress that you guys have going into this new experience and like congratulations to you guys. So to say anything but kind words about them, like you're never going to catch us do that ever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the stories you don't hear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You always hear about. It's always
You
the
hear the
server
bad.
who, like, it's always the server or the person who like fucked around at work, who didn't do a good job. Those are the ones that are starting lawsuits and stuff. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just usually how it goes. It's kind of like Leah McSweeney with Bravo, but we won't go down that road again.
Oi. All right.
Oi. What are we holding our boobies?
I'm holding my bubbies. Okay. So I'm going to move on to this and we're going to keep this one really short. Kiki Monique is also under fire right now because Kiki ended up coming out and sharing that Scheana had nothing to do with the whole conversation about the naked wasted, blah, blah, blah. In fact, it was Katie Janela who told her all about this. And that's really not what people are getting upset with Kiki about. What they're getting upset with Kiki about is more so that she said, I had an off the record conversation with Dave Quinn. And then
well, it's not off the record. If you're sharing the conversation that you had with Dave Quinn, it officially becomes on the record.
Well, and
that's not off the record.
I saw so many content creators and I saw Chef Stu and I saw like all of these people who were like off the record. What? Like this is absolutely on the record. And I was like, I hope you're playing this game right. And I hope this
I think
exactly
too
when
people cover shows and stuff, you know, Kiki has she's very good. I love watching her on Reality Checked, or watching, because I don't listen all the time on SiriusXM, but when she's on Reality Checked with Dorinda and stuff, you know, it's fun to watch her. And so I don't really love her on Scheana's show. And I think when you get too involved and too close to things, like we have also done, it just becomes like really weird. And people, you know, I don't know, especially if you're doing the on the record, off the record thing, it just looks bad. But you know what? Just like Salt Lake, just like everything with us, like it just blows over. You know what I mean? But the thing is a lot of people who cover these shows, just like hosts and just like people who cover entertainment, a lot of people have relationships. We have a lot of relationships with a lot of housewives. We've been friends with some housewives before they were housewives. We've been around, like I said, you know, like you just said, we just pointed out, we've been around Vanderpump Rules for years. We were asked to start filming Vanderpump Rules. We went through the whole process right before COVID. Then COVID happened. We know what it's all about. So that's where we give our perspective from. And that's okay if people don't like it because they think we're too close to the talent. Kiki's very close to the talent, like sitting right next to them.
Right.
So it's different. It can make people look the other way. However, I do like what Kiki does. So I'm not going to like go in on her, but it does look a little funny bone.
I don't think that, first of all, I'm not saying that I don't like what Kiki does. And I'm not saying that
No.
Kiki is a liar
you don't
at
have
all.
to say it. Everyone else is.
Yeah.
Everyone else is. You don't have to say it.
That's the thing, is like, we're simply covering, because at this point, I know that I also got another unfollow. And it's like, I'm just like creating this
Kiki.
list. You guys would think, guys, I, in some weird up way, I went from like Snow White to like the villain in the story. And I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know what I did to you.
Now you're not
Pinot
Maleficent.
Grigio. No,
you know what?
Like,
Snow White wasn't that cute. Maleficent was so much better. So she had the costume, the makeup, everything. So you're moving in the right direction, Adam. Don't worry about that.
I always say this. I would rather be the villain
great
than the
people
victim.
that follow you.
Okay.
Hello. No one likes the victim.
No, at the end of the day, like, I hope this all pans out for her, because this is something that hits a little bit close to home for us. And we were in a similar situation last season on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We maneuvered it in a different way, and everybody beats to their own drum. And that's okay. So I'm curious to see how it pans out. I think with her being a part of Radio Andy and her being just closely affiliated, I think that it will work out for her in a better way. I spoke to a few housewives who feel like that's not the case and nobody's protected, but we shall see. And I think that the reunion is going to tell all, because it was Tamra who said that Katie was bringing receipts to the reunion. Speaking of which, can we just talk about this for a second? Last night.
Yes, my favorite episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County so far. Holy shit. This is why we have Tamra judge back, like her or not. You go to a party at her house, and within the first 10 minutes, Tamra's fighting with Emily. Then Emily's fighting with Tamra. Then Shannon walks in as the observer. Then Gina shows up. She starts getting involved. Then Heather shows up. Then Gina's fighting with Heather. Then Heather's fighting with Tamra. Like, I could not keep up in the 20 minutes we had this like ongoing fight. And then after all of this shit, Jen Padranti followed the person who was supposed to be the one that Tamra had an affair with. Tamra had a text from the wife of that person, printed it out because she couldn't read, put it on the table. This all happened, and they still made fucking cakes. Welcome to the Real Housewives of Orange County. Welcome back. That was brilliant. It was brilliant.
And
it was such a great episode.
I agreed with everyone in this. Here's the thing. I agreed with Emily Simpson where she was like, you know, sometimes you make me nervous and I don't want to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets in case at one point we're just not best friends anymore and like you turn this against me. I could see where Emily Simpson was coming from, right?
Yeah.
But then
Tamra quit again. I forgot about that.
Tamra quit again for the second time.
Quitting. I love it. It's funny.
And then Gina Kirschenheider was like making me literally laugh so fucking hard last night, you guys, because she's like, do I take the cake? Do I not take the cake? Like, what's going on? And she was really comedic relief. And then also when Heather Dubrow called out Gina and she was like, no, you sat there and said, like, you don't think I'm funny? Like, I need to give you my resume. And she's like, I don't know you to be a comedian. I don't know this version of you to be a comedian.
I've never seen Gina. I've never seen Gina that funny. Gina was funny. She's like, when you were on the sitcoms in 1994, I was in like 4th grade. She was funny. It made me kind of like Gina, but I like when Gina can get involved and not feel that she's less than, because maybe that's my issue with Gina over the past few years. She feels like she can't keep up with these women. She feels like downplayed or whatever. But when she puts her foot down to Heather, I think it's so funny. But now we see what bothers Heather. You catch a nerve. You make her insecure when you don't.
You talk about her career.
When you talk about the career or the acting or Groundlings or any, you know, comedy work that she's doing. By the way, Groundlings is very, very difficult. That would make anybody uncomfortable.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's a comedy thing, like Second City. And to go in there and start taking classes, you have to really let yourself out of the box. All right. It's very difficult, even for a seasoned actor or a sitcom actor. This is like above when it comes to comedy. Like people from Groundlings and Second City have gone on to do SNL and stuff like that. And they're usually really funny. I like when Gina puts her foot down and she can stand up to it. But I thought it was a great episode. I really did.
Well, and then you know who I'm sick of on the show, and I'm just ready for her. Like, you guys, I don't ever want to campaign for somebody to lose their job. I really don't. And that's not the case. Like, take the money and the paycheck out of it. I'm talking about just like what is good for the show and like who I want to watch. Shannon being like, oh, are you kidding me? She's doing this now. It's like, Shannon, do you know that you have been the most chaotic, like disruptive tragedy of what the Real Housewives of Orange County, like, are you kidding? Like, you literally...
Are producers doing her dirty too? Because every time she goes for the food or a drink, they really hone in on that.
No, I don't think that they're doing her dirty. I think that she does herself dirty. I think that she just comes off like she has become such a character like this. And the one thing that I'm going to say in defense of Tamra is, whether you guys like her or not, she stands on business, and she said every time she says something, it turns out to be true. So whether or not you like the fact that she is delivering the truth at the expense of whoever's fucking truth it is, whether or not you like it, it's still the truth. She's not feeding you some bullshit. She's not starting a rumor. She's not Gretchen Rossiing you where she's like, oh, well, you want me to let you know what I know about you, girl? No, she's like, what about when you had the dildo and you had the photos online? What about that? And like, she literally will just like put it out there, and it might not be the most kosher and like the most like nice thing to say, but she stands on the truth. So you just don't like the fact that it's 9 times out of 10, it's like pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
But
not, yeah.
she's giving it to you. And it's not, a lot of times housewives, when they don't have something to throw at you, what they do is they plant a seed of doubt. And they're like, you don't want me to say what I know about you. You don't want me to talk about the husband. What do you know about the husband? And still to this day, we don't even know what she knew about the husband.
Yeah. Do you know what
what
I found very interesting too is as I love when someone is missing and we have a really good 20 minutes of an episode and Gretchen wasn't there at all. And that just tells you everything. It really does. I don't even think Gretchen came up.
I mean, I do miss Katie Janela.
So do I. I've said that since the beginning, and I'm really excited for the reunion, and I really hope that she has some proof to back it up. Housewives have done worse, but I feel like every time we get a new cast member on OC, they are come for very, very, very quickly. And besides Noella, like,
yeah,
everyone could go for her. Who cares? It's crazy. That was crazy.
Well, guys, on top of this, by the way, Jason, an hour and 6 minutes. Like, we have been going in. We still have.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I still have 2 more topics that I want to discuss.
Let's do it. Let's
okay,
jump right in.
I'm gonna give Jason a good 60 seconds.
God bless America. Why do you do this to me? Don't just go to the bathroom before we do a show.
No, my God.
What were you gonna do?
To go on a rant. Ready?
I don't have a rant for Lisa and freaking Whitney.
No, I want to know what your thoughts are so far on this season of the show.
Okay, fine. My thoughts on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Well, first of all, the first episode and two felt very, 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 very produced. I don't know how you guys felt. You guys can let us know in the comments, live chat. It just felt extremely produced, especially that first episode. And it's not feeling great. It's not feeling real. And then we have all of these lawsuit things coming up. So here, I'm just going to go down really quick. I think Heather has become too much of a narrator. I feel like Bronwyn is hiding so much in the background that is all going to come out at some point. I feel like I've lost Lisa Barlow a little bit because I feel like her reaction to all the accusations that were done against her was a little much. In very Lisa Barlow fashion, she came back and she had the big posters blown up and she had to defend herself to the T. What I'm not liking about Lisa Barlow is the elitism of everything, how she lives a different life than everyone else, how she's more important than everyone else, and no one else can understand what she is, who she is. We all know, okay? We all know. And when you sit there and you brag about it and you keep pushing it like that, it just makes us not like you or respect you. Because people who are actually doing things, what do they say? Money screams, wealth whispers. I know we can go down this a million ways. You can say it.
Yeah.
When you're that loud, you don't need to be that loud. If Vita Tequila is the best tequila company in the world, and you have the best thing happening at why am I blanking? Sundance. If you're at all these parties with Ben Affleck and Steve Carell and people are coming here and going there, great. People don't talk about that who do it. They don't. You know, you would never know Lisa Vanderpump is really good friends with Lady Gaga. They were like smoking a cigarette outside a pump one night and the paparazzi caught them. They were not called because I had to call Lisa in that night. She doesn't talk about that. She's neighbors with Lizzo. You didn't find out that until she had that show, Overserved or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people don't talk about those things. She has to make herself special. And it feels like Lisa lives in Lisa's world. That's what it feels like to me. Well, they all live in their own world. Salt Lake is in its own bubble anyway, compared to any other show.
When there was the whole argument and she was doing the showing off of the poster boards and she's like, I have money and I'm successful and I have businesses and I'm great and this and that. And listen, like she's trying to prove a point. So I understand that she's trying to prove a point and I'm not mad at her for that. But like when Whitney was like, I never sourced my shit from Alibaba. I'm like,
BS.
Then go talk to Dana Wilkie. She's like, love Dana. I love Dana. I haven't talked to Dana. Hi, Dana. It's been a long time, but like, love Dana. And we got to meet up with her in Miami and in London. She's a good friend of ours. But go talk to her, because she was the one who actually found out that the stock photos that were used on the site were the same stock photos that were used on Alibaba. So if that's a discrepancy, then it's a discrepancy. That's a very odd, questionable discrepancy. That's not something like, if you're curating your own jewelry, or if you are designing your own jewelry, or if you're sourcing it from different places, change the fucking stock photo.
Or make it fun. Take creative photos or whatever. But
it's such
also,
a lazy way.
Well, yeah, it is a lazy way. And it was so funny. There was a clip, I was playing it for you last night, where John Oliver was on Stephen Colbert, and he was talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and how he has to watch it. And Stephen Colbert was like, well, can I jump in and watch it now? And he goes, no, you can't jump into Lord of the Rings and start at page 605. You got to start at the beginning. And he says it's funny because these ladies, they think they're funny. They all have a grift. And then he was saying some grifts, like, the skincare causes rashes. Some, he was just going on and on. And it is so funny because I think the joke is kind of on them. I don't think they're in on the joke. And that's what makes Housewives of Salt Lake City so great. They think they're thriving and doing all these amazing things. And everyone's kind of sitting around being like, what?
That's also another thing that I want to give to Tamra for a second, because also Lisa, because we didn't really see their products. Like, we don't have Venus CBD shoved in our face. Like if you go to Pump and stuff, you'll see the Pump candles. You'll see
which by the way, Pump, Sir candles. I know Lisa was just promoting the Sir candles, and I'm not trying to push anything on anyone. I don't get paid for this shit anymore. But those are all sourced from a very great candle company.
Oh my God, guys.
In the Inland Empire. Yeah, it's great.
Heaven.
So they're really nice.
But no, they're not like these people, like these housewives who really heavily focus on product placement, and you see a lot of product placement from newer housewives on these shows. It's really entertaining to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I see it and I'm like, oh, okay. But
I have to say too, what's really funny, and just end on this too, like with Whitney, because I really like how she kind of came out and she's like, look, I fucked up. This company didn't work, whatever. It was a different entity. We had to move it to another entity. And I'm like, you were doing so well. Now you just lost me again. Like, you can't, listen, we have a CBD company. We had to do a rebrand because we're going bigger places and doing bigger things. And our whole name was like a joke at the beginning. So we have to change it to get into that market. Okay. And so we're ready to go into that market. Not only did we change Iris and
more
Beau
commercially friendly
to Wild Rose Beauty. Yeah. So for us, it's more commercial friendly. But if you're moving Iris and Beau, same product, you're moving over to Soul People, same product, you're taking over to Wild Rose, then or maybe it was Wild Rose, then Soul People, then this, then that. I'm not sure. And then you have all of these rumors about MLMs and them being involved in other things. It just looks whack. You know what I mean? And skincare is already a very competitive, oversaturated market. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a Korean skincare brand, you're not breaking into the United States anyway. Really? Yeah. So,
or unless you're like married to Justin Bieber and you're doing, even Kim Kardashian just like dropped SKKN, which was her skin company. Like, she was like, nope, we're done. I'm gonna focus on
Skin and Skims.
Yeah, she was like, we're gonna move on. But then like Hailey Bieber managed to turn Rhode, which is her maiden name, into $1 billion empire. It's not the easiest thing to do. First of all, if it was easy, we would all do it.
I liked about the Hailey Bieber thing? I don't know much about that. That's a different generation for me, so I don't know. But when we were looking into it, and I think someone on our site, I don't know if it was Lexi or Tyler or maybe even you, wrote an article about it. The fact that she's staying on as a creative director and staying on with the product and everything, that shows that you still care. It's not like, okay, I'm sold, bye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, I like that too.
Casamigos. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to leave Salt Lake City alone, guys. For the last topic, I just wanted to, this is almost like my equivalent of like Andy Cohen's Jackhole of the Day. Are you writing something?
I'm actually doing I'm doing, what is it? The little time stamps, so that when people come to our long ass lives, they can choose what they want to watch, because some people don't care about Miami or Salt Lake.
Oh,
So yeah.
well, that's really nice of you. Okay, I wanted to talk about this for 2 seconds, guys. Aaron Pfeifers is now calling Charlie Sheen and Brandy Glanville into the divorce against Denise Richards, and he is saying that Denise has cut him out of the accounts, and he is demanding that the courts award him at least $150,000 to survive, or else he's going to be homeless. What I'm going to say is, 1, you filed for divorce. Okay. 2, you went on and said that the woman was addicted to Vicodin and alcohol. 3,
Get a
you
job.
went on 3, you went on and said that the woman was having an affair with the guy who's on special forces, like one of the special force ops guys, which I just finally got to see him on TV. 4, you went on and said that she is practically somebody who just neglects her animals, and that she left them all like to just whatever, and that he kind of took that on. You disparaged this woman in every way possible, while also in your divorce asking for $120,000 a month and monthly spousal support. And now you want her to feel bad for you, while also inviting cameras and a camera crew into your house, your Calabasas rental home, inviting cameras into the Calabasas rental home and showing what a house of horror shithole it was.
Oh my God. And it's, even if it was that bad, what clean it up? Like, how can you live like that?
Clean it. Oh, he said he did clean it up. He said that was better than what she left it. Give me a break. You did everything that you could to make her look like the worst possible person, and now you want her to sit there and like do something for you.
So when you got with Denise, though, you had a clinic and you had a job,
right?
And then all of a sudden your whole family moves into one of her houses, and then you're getting a divorce.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't add up. This guy, and then he's been down this road before with other celebrities, right? Nicolette Sheridan. Am I making that up?
Nope. No. You're not making it up.
That's him. I can't keep fucking track of these people
anymore.
Go on
with your pen. Go on with your pen.
They just move on from one to another, like looking for a payday. That's what the optics are anyway. That's what the optics are. It looks like you're looking for a payday, and now you can't survive. What do you mean you can't survive? What is that? What kind of car do you drive? Where do you live? You're asking for how much money a month? Get a clue. Clue into the rest of the world, girl. You aren't Denise Richards. You weren't a big actress who made a splash. You weren't a sex symbol. You weren't a Bond girl. You didn't have a very successful reality show for many, many years. No, get rid of him.
No. Oy, ay, ay. All right, guys.
I can go on and on, listen, I've met both of them in person. I've met Denise and Aaron in person. They used to swing by Pump every now and then, get Casamigos Reposado, neat, and then move on to wherever else they were going. They were both very lovely, her more than him, but it just reads like, oh my God, I wish the celebrity, it's, who cares these days? No one cares.
Yeah.
The world is changing. The world is changing.
All right, guys. I think we can round this off at 1 hour and 20 minutes. I did want to remind you guys that we still have upandadamlive.com, so you guys can go check out all of the amazing articles from our incredible writers. And it's always a one-stop shop where you can see our videos. You can see the podcast that we have, a lot of podcast episodes. And of course, you can meet our writers as well. But on top of that, what I wanted to say was that Jason ended up doing a members only, really giving you guys the behind the scenes on BravoCon, where he would go. And I think that, I think that this was it was a really good, while you explain exactly what you did, I'm going to pin it to the live chat.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just sitting there the other day and I'm thinking, why are we not just turning on the camera whenever we have stuff going on for members? It's not my best. It's just me by myself. I'm kind of boring. Okay. But I do go through the entire lineup for every single day at BravoCon. We've been to 3 BravoCons. I've worked 2 of them. And And we have actually, I think Gelsey's working this year. And so everyone will be everywhere this year at BravoCon. I kind of explain how many stages there are, the different panels that are happening, the ones you should go to, the ones you should skip, in my opinion. And just kind of give you some tidbits on like what Sunday looks like compared to Friday, what the big thing is going to happen on Saturday. They always have a lore. So I go through every day. So if you're going Friday, just Friday, if you're going just Saturday, or you're going all 3 days of BravoCon, I kind of just like, I'm just making a schedule. And I explained this in the members video too, for our team who's going, what we need to hit, what we need to see. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I didn't think that we were going to do an hour and 20 minutes. So
it's becoming like that. Hot Messy's becoming like that because it's getting messy. And the closer we get to BravoCon, the messier it's going to get.
This has been honestly one of my favorite Hot Messies that we've ever done.
I love that.
And let's just really quick take these last few questions. Angelique, new member. Hi, welcome. Jason, can you please do recaps for Housewives of London?
I was just thinking about that, guys. Let me just say really quickly. In episode 5, they finally bring in Juliet Angus, who was in the Ladies of London on Bravo. And you see why. The whole cast just got shook up, and it was so fun. And the way they argue, and I don't think bleeping out is a thing, because on Hey You, it's just like, it's kind of like watching Peacock, you know? It's all just not bleeped out. And
it's like, fuck you, you fucking bitch!
Yeah, well, it started to become like that when Juliet came on. I guess you got to blame the Americans, but everyone's so prim and proper and like, oh, you cow, talk to the hand. And then Juliet comes in and she's like, are you fucking serious? And I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna rile these women up. It's actually such a great show, and there's no scandal, and there's no throwing chairs and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like fabulous women being dumb, and I love it. It's so great. It's such a great show.
We love it.
Show.
Tara Leitner said, why did you guys decide not to go on the Vanderpump Rules cast? Okay, COVID. Guys. So yeah, the pandemic happened. Everything was put on hold. And before they ended up picking back up cameras and continuing on with their casting decisions, we received another email asking us, like, what are we up to now? And we said we just moved to Palm Beach. So
bye. Sorry.
That's literally what happened. There's not like some big.
Oh, thank God. We would have been canceled in 2 seconds.
Oh, God. You guys have great insight because I was not believing Katie, but the more it plays out, I think you guys are right. She may have been set up. Donna, I think that Tamra and Katie and everybody keeps on saying that Katie has all of these receipts for the reunion. So let's just keep an eye on it. Janine,
an eye.
Question, are you both covering BravoCon? I definitely am. Are you?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have tons of... So here's the thing. We have people going with us this year, okay? Everybody has a camera. Everyone's doing different things. I'm not going to be with Adam. I don't know when we're going to meet up. The parties, dinners. You're going to be running around with Emily D. Baker.
The parties!
I'm not telling you who I'm running around with. You guys will see if you're a member. I'll get them to get on it too. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, we will be covering it heavily. We will be vlogging probably like a couple days before. While we get there, we'll be covering it. Last time we were at BravoCon, Adam actually went live. He live streamed for about an hour at BravoCon.
And I got yelled at by one of our friends for that.
Who? Oh, you don't tell me on here?
Yeah, no.
I think it's amazing. So you went and said hi to a whole bunch of people. Like you saw Talina and I said hi to everyone. Caroline, Toomey from Below Deck. You kind of went around and just like hit everyone really quick at the bazaar. And I think that's fun to see kind of like the insight for people who don't get to go. And as I say in my members only video, guys, BravoCon is absolutely just amazing. If you're into this, it's amazing. It just is very expensive. And when you put the tickets on top of the hotel, on top of a flight, on top of Vegas is not the same, like all you can eat buffet, great deals on drinks. It is now very much LA or New York where it's like $20 cocktails and like...
No, it's fucking expensive.
It's expensive. And you don't know why, because you're sitting in the middle of the desert and some cheap looking carpet and stuff. I don't know, whatever.
Well, my God. If Jason didn't just sell it to you, then go join members only and see our previous coverage of BravoCon. And then maybe that will help. All right. I think that yes, by the way, Janine, Jason, and Gelsey are covering every single Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Anchor Watch and the
Great
Blue
season.
Shirt yesterday, Adam, was Chef's Kiss. Thank you so much, Julia.
Love that shirt.
Guys, an hour and a half. I think we're good. We have more videos.
You only had one
coming up.
bathroom break. That's good.
I know, and I listen. Can I just show you guys? Like, I sat here and I had tea, I had a water, and then I also have a soda water. I literally keep myself hydrated like the entire time, and then sometimes I have to take a bathroom break, and that's it. So, anyways,
Good to know.
Regardless, it is Friday. I hope you guys have the best, most beautiful weekend. Have so much fun. Stay safe. Drive safe, do all of the fun things, but we will be back on Monday for Hot Messy Topics. We have Potomac coming out on Sunday, so don't forget that that's coming our way. And then for the rest of the day on Up and Adam Channel 1 and 2, we have more videos dropping, so just keep your eyes and your ears open. But we love you guys. If you haven't already smashed the like button, smash it, show some love. And we just dropped Jason's BravoCon members only, where he shared the must-see panels and everything that you guys should be looking forward to. So I pinned that in the live chat. Go check that out as well. And we'll see you guys so very soon. Bye, guys. Are you just smiling? Like, I just wanted to like hold it.
Because you're still live.
I know, but are you just smiling just because like that's like your exit?
No, I was actually checking to see if you actually dropped the members. Did you?
Oh, okay. All right.